Well, what a difference a day makes. My attitude's a little better this morning, and I've got somebody videotaping me, so that always makes it nice. Wanted to show you guys what I've got done so far. Got a whole lot out already. Let me show you exactly what happens when rot takes over a boat. All right, you see this little ridge right here? That was supposed to have been a stringer that comes up right there. So that's all that's left of the tabbing. That's it. The rest of it was all just this crap. Just a really almost like mush and dry rot. Same thing, here's the ski locker. You can see all the nastiness right in here. And then you've got all across here, and then there's another part of the stringer. So you can see what happens. You go up right here. This is the tabbing from inside the ski locker. And then come up here, and there's part of the good stringer, and that's where it starts to rot. So you can see it starting to bow in and sag. The only thing that was holding this thing together was foam. So I'm going to continue going forward, get as far forward as I can, see if I can get all the rot out of here, and then finish up with the rear here. That's going to take a little more time because the way the hole comes in right here, you got to be really careful when you're cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to de-skin this area first with my Dremel tool and a small little cutoff wheel. By the way, these gloves are bad to the bone. They're basically, I don't know, they're dipped in nylon, or I'm sorry, vinyl. And I tell you, they grip like you wouldn't believe. You can grab anything. They're great work gloves. So if you can get some of these are great. I think they're about $6 or $7. But anyway, so that way I can de-skin everything first before I take the wood out. Before I'm just going back to with the Sawzall, going in this way and then piercing the hole because it goes in real close right there. So yeah, things are better today. Plus, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's about 68 degrees. This just beats the heck out of that snow and ice we've been getting. And it's supposed to be like a high of 78 by the end of this week. So yay! So anyway, I'm gonna get back to work on this. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is getting up close to the hole right there, which I think is probably gonna take a little bit of time to get in there and do it. But these stringers right here on the sides came out, I cut them in half, and they pretty much came out in one fell swoop. And you can see there's the Pookie that held it in there. And then, oh, look at there, it stops. And it's not even glued. The stringer was not even glued. You can see where it was rubbing on the hull. So yeah, you don't want that. The Pookie stopped at the same place over here. Just poor building quality. That's all that is. So off to cutting I go. Doing here is I'm plunge cutting. You make sure you get these blades with the plunge cut tips. It allows you to lay right on the wood and start your saw so it plunges in. You don't actually have to have a hole to start it. But you got to lay the saw pretty much perpendicular to the, or parallel I should say, to the wood that you're working on, and then just pull the trigger and slowly go in. Periodically look at the other side, make sure you're not hitting the hole. You can really feel it when you get into the good wood versus the bad wood. The Sawzall gets easy to cut. You can also see there's good wood, not so good wood, even worse. see how completely rotten this one is. It's amazing this boat still stayed on the water. All I gotta do is cut the skin. Alright, you see the two skins, how they come together? Look what happens to your wood.
These look like dried leaves.
Yep. This is a very unglamorous part of building a boat.
I did lots of foam and wood.
Clean up. What you want to do is get all the big chunks out and then come back with your shop vac. And I tell you what keeps my stress levels lower is if I keep it clean as much as I can instead of letting it pile up too much. When it gets piled up, that's when I get upset and feel like there's no end in sight. I can tell you today, I'm feeling like I made some progress. Alright, well, I put my big boy pants on and I got the big Sawzall out back here. I figured I'd cut it out in little pieces so that way I don't mess it all up. Look at this engine mount structure. It's just absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Same thing inside here. So, yeah, we'll be doing new engine mounts for sure. It's bad, but that's why we're doing it. It's amazing what you can get done in a couple hours when you really put your mind to it and just don't worry. All I got left to get out of this stern part right now is these two engine mounts, which are now I've got down low enough to the hull and got all the foam out. I can see where my blade goes and I can cut without worrying about it. Then I've got me some long blades that I'm going to cut the lip off. But before I cut the lip off, I'm going to actually, once I get all this out of here, is I'm going to go and I'm going to measure to the hull at strategic points. And I'm gonna take pictures, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll draw a line like from here to there and how big it is, etc., etc. So once we get all cleaned out, that way we've got an accurate representation all the way around. I know it's probably way overkill, but you know, hey, it's gonna make things much better. Oh, we got the motor mounts out. Got everything out. Went down here, honey. See, this one right here, completely rotten, no wood left whatsoever in it at all. This one right here, pretty solid, with the exception of a little bit of rot on the side. So, yeah, they had to come out. Totally nastiness. Okay, I've lost my videographer. She went inside. She got tired of itching. I think I found as far as I need to go on both these sides. The stringer is still wet to about right here, so, and I can actually see on the other side where it's wet too, so I'll probably need to go a little bit further forward here and then scarf in a new one. But this side is kind of the bad news, is there's more deck rot up here. But what I'm doing, as you can see, I'm slowly cutting away these I guess the bow boxes, and I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible, because what I'll do is once I find the end of the rot, which you can see right there in the bottom of the bow box, is that's just totally rotten. And if you lift up the carpet, you can see it goes up about another 12 inches or so. So I'll cut all that out, and of course remove that carpet too. It's hard to get any leverage when you're underneath that tarp. And I really didn't think I'd make it this far today, so I was just kind of getting started. But I'll go a little further forward, and of course all that deck's going to come out. It's just trying to do some exploratory cuts and get as close as I can. And I think I've worn out my my Sawzall blade. It's taking forever to make any cuts, so I have to go get a new one. And I'm tired. My hands are going, so I think I'm done for the day. I've got to go, now that I've cut all the support out here in the middles to hold up my tarp with my little sticks. I'm actually going to go, I've got some of the leftover fence material. I'm going to actually cut boards that go across here from each lip to each lip. So therefore, it'll hold the tarp up nicely. But yeah, look at this, man. I got everything out that I really didn't think it'd go this quickly. I figured this was going to be a major ordeal. I was worried about nothing. This was, I almost paid a guy to do it. That's what's so irritating. This took me a day, and I'm done, pretty much. Once I cut, I'd say about another couple hours to get all that stuff out, and that foam may take me a little while too. But once that's done, it's grind city. I've got to get in here and grind away, completely get rid of all this junk. So, and then I'm going to grab my pressure washer and wash, really get all this foam out of the corners and stuff. Here's another thing about Sea Ray that kind of bothers me. You see where the transom comes across here and then goes down, it dies in? Well, it actually goes down below, and it's all rotten. This is exposed wood down in here. This wasn't even protected whatsoever. So I'm sure it has wicked all the way up into here. So once I get this lip cut out of here, once we make all our measurements, I'll get in here and de-skin this and see just how bad. And I tell you, de-skinning this thing is a pain in the butt. Man, it's some thick fiberglass, which is good, but still, it's a whipping. So anyway, I think that's it for this weekend. I'm happy. And I gotta drive and get my, I'm not gonna put all the trash that I pulled out here into my truck yet, because I'm actually, hopefully trading in my truck this weekend for a heavy duty. I've got it, they're getting it ready for me. It's about 100 miles away, and my other one is getting the miles on it and needed something a little newer, a little less miles. So we'll just hope that goes, and then once I pick that up, then I can take all that junk to the dump. So adios till next time.